All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are unlocking what feels like a secret level of the Portuguese language, something that's been hiding in plain sight. It's this grammatical superpower that adds this incredible layer of precision, and, by the end of this, you're going to know exactly how to spot it and how to use it. Okay, let's do this.
I mean, really think about that for a second. In English, when we say to do something, that infinitive is totally static. It just doesn't change. But what if it could change? What if that one simple form of a verb could actually tell you who is doing the action? Well, in Portuguese, it can. And that's exactly the rabbit hole we're going down today.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to unmask the infinitive's two different faces. Then we'll say a quick hello to our old pal, the impersonal form, before we get to the real star of the show, the personal form. After that, we'll see how time comes into play, and then finally, we'll get our hands dirty and put it all into practice.
Okay, so first up, every great superhero has a secret identity, right? Well, the Portuguese infinitive is no different. It has these two totally distinct faces, and learning to tell them apart is the whole key to unlocking its power. And here they are, side by side. On the one hand, you've got the impersonal infinitive. This one doesn't point to anybody in particular. And on the other hand, you've got the personal infinitive, which absolutely does. That's it. That's the core distinction we're working with. One is general and the other is super specific. Let's start with the one you probably already know. So let's get reacquainted with our familiar friend, the impersonal infinitive. This is the version you learn on, day one. It's the one that acts a lot like the English infinitive, so it should feel pretty comfortable. So you'll use this form in basically three main situations. First, when you're just talking generally and there's no specific who involved. Second, when the subject is already super obvious from the main verb in the sentence. And third, when it's being used for a general rule or a command, like something you'd see on a sign. Okay, here's a classic example. É proibido fumar. This is a general rule. It doesn't matter who is doing the smoking, the act of smoking itself is what's prohibited. The subject is kind of everyone and no one at the same time. So the infinitive, fumar, just stays in its basic vanilla form. And here's another perfect example. In the sentence, trabalhamos para subir na vida, the main verb, trabalhamos, already shouts from the rooftops that we are the ones doing the work. So by the time we get to the infinitive, subir, we don't need to specify the subject again. It's already understood. Pretty straightforward, right? Okay, now for the main event. Let's pivot to the personal infinitive. This is the secret agent of Portuguese grammar. It's the one that carries all this extra hidden information. This is where things get really interesting. Now, here's the official kind of textbooky definition, but pay really close attention to that last part. It flexes. That's the magic word. It actually changes its ending to match the person, I, you, she, we, they, who's doing the action. This is so unique and just incredibly powerful. Let's see this thing in action. Antes de saíres. See that little ish ending on sair? That is not random. That's a direct signal for you, the to form. The sentence is specifically telling you, and only you, to turn off the gas before leaving. It's just so precise. Let's look at another one. Não saírem agora. That eng ending makes it crystal clear that the speaker is talking about they or you all. There is zero ambiguity. We know exactly who shouldn't leave because the verb tells us. This is the kind of amazing clarity the personal infinitive gives you. But wait, there's more. The personal infinitive actually has two forms that also tell us about time. So it's not just who is doing the action, but when they did it in relation to another action. It's like a whole other layer. So the core idea here is really simple. The simple form is for an action that's still going on, or maybe hasn't even happened yet. The compound form, which uses the verb ter, is for an action that's already done, finished, in the past. Unfinished versus finished. That's the whole game. Let's compare these two phrases to really see how this works. The first phrase, no caso de optarem por esta marca, that means if they choose this brand, the action of choosing hasn't happened yet. But if we say, no caso de já terem optado, that means if they have already chosen, the action is complete. See that? It's the same base verb, but adding terem completely changes the timeline. All right, you've seen the theory. Now it's time to put it to the test and make sure this is actually sinking in. Let's do a few quick practice rounds and we'll focus on that tricky compound form. You ready? Okay, first one up. Although I passed the exam, I didn't get into university. So just think about the timeline.
Which action happened first? Passing the exam or not getting in? Take a second. And the answer is ter pasado. Exactly. Because passing the exam is a completed action that happened before the main action of not getting into the university. See the logic there? All right, how about this one? After, to finish, clear the table. Again, what's the sequence of events? Which action has to be done and dusted before the next one starts?
You got it. Terem acabado. The finishing of the meal has to be a completed action before the table clearing can even begin. That terem form perfectly captures that finished state for a group of people.
Okay, final round. Without, to see the movie. You can't be criticizing it. You can't criticize it unless you have already done what? Of course. Sem teres visto o filme. You have to have first completed the action of seeing the movie. The compound infinitive teres visto just nails that sequence down perfectly for the subject you. You're getting this. And that really is the heart of it all. This isn't just some quirky grammar rule to memorize. It's a tool for elegance and for precision. The personal infinitive lets you pack all this information, who did it and when they did it, right into the verb itself. It's efficient, it's clear, and now it is officially part of your toolkit. So, I'll leave you with this question. Now that you've unlocked this secret level of the language, where do you think you're going to notice it first? Is it going to be in a book, a song, maybe a conversation you overhear? Keep your eyes and your ears open, because I promise you, you are about to see this everywhere.